Greetings, dear listeners. My name is Serikbayev Syrym, and today our broadcast dedicated to public-private partnership. What are public-private partnerships? Public-private partnerships involve collaboration between a government agency and a private sector company that can be used to finance, build, and operate projects such as public transportation networks, parks, and convention centers. Financing a project through a public-private partnership can allow a project to be completed sooner or make it a possibility in the first place. Public-private partnerships often involve concessions of tax or other operating revenue, protection from liability or partial ownership rights over nominally public services, and property to private sector for profit entities. Key takeaways. Public-private partnerships allow large-scale government projects such as roads, bridges, or hospitals to be completed with private funding. These partnerships work well when private sector technology and innovation combine with public sector incentives to complete work on time and within budget. Risks for private enterprise include cost overruns, technical defects, and an inability to meet quality standards, while for public partners, agreed upon usage fees may not be supported by demand, for example, for a toll road or a bridge. Despite their advantages, public-private partnerships are often criticized for blurring the lines between legitimate public purposes and private for-profit activity, and for perceived exploitation of the public due to self-dealing and rent-seeking that may occur. How public-private partnerships work. A city government, for example, might be heavily in debt and unable to undertake a capital-intensive building project, but a private enterprise might be interested in funding its construction in exchange for receiving the operating profits once the project is complete. Public-private partnerships typically have contract periods of 25 to 30 years or longer. Financing comes partially from the private sector, but requires payments from the public sector and or users over the project's lifetime. The private partner participates in designing, completing, implementing, and funding the project, while the public partner focuses on defining and monitoring compliance with the objectives. Risks are distributed between the public and private partners through a process of negotiation, ideally through not always according to the ability of each to assess, control, and cope with them. Also, public works and services may be paid for through a fee from the public authority's revenue budget, such as With hospital projects, concessions may involve the right to direct users' payments, for example with the toll highways. In cases such as shadow tolls for highways, payments are based on actual usage of the service. When wastewater treatment is involved, payment is made with fees collected from users. Advantages and disadvantages of public-private partnerships. Partnerships between private companies and governments provide advantages to both parties. Private sector technology and innovation, for example, can help improve the operational efficiency of providing public services. The public sector, for its part, provides incentives for the private sector to deliver projects on time and within budget. In addition, creating economic diversification makes the country more competitive in facilitating its infrastructure base and boosting associated construction, equipment, support services, and other businesses. There are downsides too. The private partner may face special risks from engaging in public-private partnership. Physical infrastructure such as roads or railways involve construction risks. If the product is not delivered on time, exceeds cost estimates, or has technical defects, the private partner typically bears the burden. In addition, the private partner faces availability risk if it cannot provide the service promised. A company may not meet safety or other relevant quality standards, for example, when running a prison, hospital, or school. Demand risk occurs when there are fewer users than expected for the service or infrastructure, such as toll roads, bridges, or tunnels. However, this risk can be shifted to the public partner if the public partner agreed to pay a minimum fee no matter the demand. And now our broadcast is over. Please subscribe to this channel. That was your host, Serikbayev Syrym. Goodbye.